So, music exams. Now, yesterday I got a message from a parent of a pupil that's about 10 and she wanted to stop lessons because they haven't done an exam yet and it didn't seem like the lessons were a good enough investment. I'm not going to dive too much into that case particularly, but I just want to very quickly talk about the idea of music lessons and the idea of having to commodify our hobbies and the concept of studying something for the love of studying it. And I think this is particularly important coming off the back of Mental Health Awareness Week that we've just had. When I post these videos of all the old school songs, it genuinely still brings me so much joy thinking about the fact that every morning we would have a bit of a sing before going off and studying anything else. The fact that we got so much from that isn't tested on. You know, we learned about all sorts of concepts and we learned new words and about different topics, and you know, we weren't getting certificates for this, we weren't being tested on these things, and I think that's something that is definitely being lost at the moment. There's definitely a culture of, if you're not doing something to a certain level, then what's the point of doing it? Or if you're not studying something in order for it to be turned into a job or lead on to a future career, then it's not worth it. I mean, there are whole scientific studies about how good singing and communal music making can be for your mental well-being. You know, physically, it can make you feel great. I used to sing in a community choir growing up, and I'd never, even if I had a really bad day, I'd never come back from that feeling worse. I'd always feel a lot better, it'd just lift my spirits up. But the one thing I hated was doing my piano exams, and that culture, that fear it drove into me. There are lots of great things about doing music exams. It can give you a goal, it can give you a destination, something to work towards, but not everything in the exams is necessarily going to make you a better musician. And I know so many professional musicians, people that are in the West End, people that are touring around the UK and making a career from being a musician, that didn't do music exams. And I think one of the issues is actually on a wider level, because in the UK right now, education is so exam-based and so result-focused that it's almost like, if you're not doing something to have an end goal, to have something tangible like a certificate or a result that can lead you onto something else, then what's the point of doing it in the first place? And I've seen a lot of musicians and pupils stop doing their instrument, stop learning their instrument because they're too stressed by the exams. And one thing that is extremely toxic as well is the level of comparison. And I think this is driven by parents, this is driven by exams, and I'm seeing pretty young people saying, oh, I didn't get a distinction, so I must be a failure, and being miserable for getting, you know, good marks and having done something, pushed themselves out of their comfort zone and performed in front of an examiner. Anyway, there's so much more that I can say about this, but just one more thing. We have to see music making and music lessons as a journey, and just to enjoy that journey for the love of it. And if there's a destination, that might be an exam or a certificate, then great, but that should not be the be all and end all. And the main thing is just to really have that joy of music making above all else.